Good evening, good evening. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the special Christmas Eve edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, live here on the YouTube, the Tube, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I am your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ, and gonna talk some pro wrestling. Got a couple of things coming up that I wanted to jump into. In tonight's episode, going to preview the cards for both Stardom's Dream Queendom pay-per-view, as well as WWE's Day One pay-per-view. So I'm going to go over the cards for that. I'm also going to go over my experience at the AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash, which I attended live in Greensboro, North Carolina, just this past Wednesday. I attended that with some friends, and yeah, just go from there. I don't expect this to be too long of an episode, but it probably might be. So just get your popcorn ready. But let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off previewing these upcoming pay-per-views. So first I want to start off with Stardom's Dream Queendom pay-per-view. This is pretty much their last big show of the year, which will be taking place on December 29th. So let's actually go ahead and start previewing the card for this. So this will be in Tokyo, Japan at the Ryogoku Arena on December 29th. So we have eight matches for this special event. So let's go ahead and go through each match. So we have a five-way match. Five-way. The ladies will be Lady C versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Saki Kashima versus Fukigen Death versus Rina. It's kind of hard to pick who may win this match, but something tells me, just based on the ladies in this match, it's probably going to come down to being either Saki Kashima or Fukigen Death. I feel is going to win this five-way match. Now, I assume this is I don't know if this is the pre-show or like the official first match, but it's safe to say that this is the first match of the card. So it makes me wonder, after this match, if those masked assailants are going to show up and attack everybody in this five-way. Because the last couple of pay-per-views, these masked assailants have attacked the wrestlers involved in the first match after the match is over. So I wonder if they will show up. But you know something? I think we're going to finally find out who they are. I think with this being the last show of the year for Stardom, the last pay-per-view, I think we're going to end up learning who these masked assailants are. I think this will be the show. So whether it's after this first match or by the end of the show, I got a feeling we're going to see they're going to unveil who these ladies are. But aside from that, I'm picking either Saki Kashima or Fukigen Death to win this Fatal 5-Way. I don't see Waka Tsukiyama winning it. I don't see Rina winning it. And honestly, I don't see Lady C winning it. So I think it's going to be either of those two ladies. Next up, we have the Future of Stardom Championship on the line, as the champion, Oedo Tai's Ruoka, will go up against Stars' Hanan. Now, to be honest, at first I was a little torn as far as who to pick for this match. I was a little torn at first, but honestly, I think I can see Ruaka holding the title just a little longer. So I think she will finish out the year and go into 2022 as Future of Stardom champion. So I'm gonna pick her to retain, but at the same time, it would not surprise me if Hanan was able to pull it off. I don't think she will. I was kind of torn about it at first, but I think Ruaka is going to hold on to that title a little longer. Maybe another 2 or so months, perhaps. But yeah, I'm picking Ruaka to retain the Future of Stardom title. All right, we got ourselves a 3-way triple threat match for the High Speed Championship, as the champion Oedo Tai Starlight Kid will defend against Queen's Quest Azumi and Stars Koguma. Now, this is another one. This is another match that I'm kind of torn from, because I think Koguma has really been on the rise, especially, finishing with a pretty decent record in the 5-star Grand Prix, as well as winning the Goddess of Stardom Goddess Tag League with Hazuki. So I feel like Koguma's been on the rise. And, Azumi, she's a former high-speed champion. But Starlight Kid, I just really feel for Starlight Kid, she's really been at the top and just really has been on an excellent run ever since joining Oedo Tai. And I just, of course, they recently won the Captain's Fall match at Osaka Super Wars, which ended up being Momo Watanabe turning on Azumi and joining Oedo Tai. So I feel like Stardom is in a good place where you got to keep her momentum going. I think you got to keep her momentum going, and I see her retaining the High Speed Championship. And honestly, I could see her having a decently long title run. I think Starlight Kid deserves a decently long title run. I love her character now with Oedo Tai. She's been really embracing her dark side, and she's been a strong champion and just a much stronger competitor now. So I really can see Starlight Kid retaining. But it would kind of surprise me if they pulled the trigger and put the belt on Koguma, who's also a former high-speed champion long time ago. So she's won that belt before. So, I'm confident that Starlight Kid will retain, but you never know. You never know. All right, we have a 6-woman tag team match for the Artists of Stardom Trios Championships, as Mai Hime Poi, Donna Del Mundo's Himeka, Maika, and Natsupoi will defend against Cosmic Angels Mina Shirakawa, Unagi Sayaka, and Mai Sakurai. Now, I can tell you right here, right now, I pretty much see Mai Hime Poi retain. Being that it's Mina Shirakawa, Mai Sakurai, and Unagi Sayaka, I don't see them winning these trios belts. They just recently had the Artists of Stardom trios titles. I think they're gonna continue to keep them on Mai Hime Poi. So I'm picking Mai Hime Poi to retain. This I feel like is an easy one. I really can't see them dropping the titles to Cosmic Angels. I just don't see it. And then next up, we have a special singles match. We have Julia's return and Konami's departure. So this will be Julia's comeback match, her return match, and Konami's, I guess you could say, farewell match. as these two ladies will square off. And regardless of the outcome, this will be Konami's last match, as she will be leaving Stardom, as in, I guess, taking a hiatus or just taking a bunch of time away to focus on her well-being. Rumor is that she may make later occasional appearances, but it depends. It depends on her. It really depends on her. The ball is in her court, but for now, regardless of the outcome of this match, this will be Konami's last match in Stardom for now, as she will take time away to focus on her well-being and, personal life and such. So, being that this is Julia's comeback match, her return match, I would hate to see Konami lose, but Julia is most likely going to win. I mean, for her to have her return match and for her to lose, I just don't see it. So I'm picking Julia to win. I do feel that it is possible that it could be a draw. It could be a draw. Very small possibility. I could see it being a draw. But honestly, I think Julia wins. It's her comeback match. I think she wins. And I'm sure Konami will do some sort of farewell speech at the end of the match, like I said, regardless of the outcome. And I'm sure it would be nice to see a segment with all the Stardom wrestlers come out and, give Konami a standing ovation, give her a proper farewell. Because, when you think about it, Konami, she's been a veteran for Stardom for a number of years. So I really feel like her getting that kind of reception, I think, is warranted. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see how this match goes. But I think Julia ends up winning it. But we'll see how Konami does in her farewell match. And then next up, we have a special tag team match, which puts Mayu Iwatani and Takumi Iroha going up against Hazuki and Momo Watanabe. So this is a special, I believe this is a, what is it? Special anniversary match, if I remember correctly. 10th anniversary. Yeah, 10th anniversary of Stardom, I guess, match. And, when you look at it, these ladies are pretty much longtime veterans in general. I mean, Takumi Iroha is from, of course, the marvelous women's pro wrestling promotion. But, I mean, you look at Mayu Iwatani, she's been part of Stardom for a long time. Hazuki's been part of Stardom for a very long time. Momo Watanabe as well. So, what I am interested in seeing is, I wonder what this new look Momo Watanabe is gonna look like now that she's with Oedo Tai. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely curious. I'm very curious. I wonder if she's gonna get like a big special entrance. You know what I mean? I think she should get a big special entrance. But if anything, I wonder how it's gonna go. And I believe Stardom has a Christmas show as well. So I mean, I'll definitely have to check that out, because I think Momo Watanabe is competing in that. So who knows? Maybe she'll have the special entrance in that show. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, Stardom's supposed to be having a Christmas show as well. And she's supposed to be teaming up with Starlight Kid, I believe. So I might have to check that out. But I would love to see this new look Momo Watanabe. But as far as this match, I don't know. This is tough. This is tough. Mayu and Takumi, Momo and Hazuki. This is tough. I'm kind of stumped on this one. I might have to stay neutral for this match. Only because, I mean, I'm not really sure what to expect. So I'm going to probably stay neutral on this match, this tag team match. But it should be good. It should be wild. I mean, I don't know how Momo and Hazuki are going to coexist. But, I mean, you never know. You never know. Because, I mean, after all, Hazuki is part of Stars now. So, and, you know, Mayu Iwatani's on the opposite end of this match, and she's the leader of Stars. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But I'm going to stay neutral on this match. I'm going to stay neutral. Okay, next up, we have the Wonder of Stardom Championship on the line as Tam Nakano, the champion, leader of Cosmic Angels, will defend against Queen's Quest Saya Kamitani. And I am full on rooting and picking Saya Kamitani to become Wonder of Stardom champion. This is her. I believe this is the time. This is her last chance to do this before the end of the year. And like I said, I had said earlier this year, beginning of this year, that I could see Saya Kamitani become a singles champion before the end of this year. So I really hope this goes through. Not only that, but to be honest, Tam Nakano's Wonder of Stardom championship run has been kind of boring. Just a little boring. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that she finally dethroned Julia, but her title run has just been kind of boring. Personally, to me, I feel like it's been kind of boring. Maybe because she hasn't defended it as much as I thought she would have, but and at the time, of course, she was, you know, competing with the Artist of Stardom trios titles as well. So I feel like because of that, that kind of took a hit on her defending the Wonder of Stardom championship. But I don't know. Cause let me see. Tam Nakano won the title back in March 3rd. So I mean, she's had it for 296 days. So I mean, honestly, and she's defended it. Well, she defended it 6 times. So I mean, honestly, I think it's time. I think it's time. I think Saya Kamitani should definitely win. I mean, she's pretty much about to have the title for over 300 days. So, I mean, honestly, I think it's time. I think it's time for a new Wonder of Stardom champion. I mean, she's defended it 6 times. You know, that's good. I mean, when Julia had the belt, she defended it 6 times. So, personally, I feel like it's time. I definitely feel like it's time for Saya Kamitani. So I'm picking her to win it. I mean, she's had an incredible year. Won the Cinderella tournament earlier this year. And she's just been getting better and better in the ring. She's established herself well in Queen's Quest, you know, as the Golden Phoenix. And, you know, I honestly feel like she's ready to be a singles champion. And why not the Wonder of Stardom championship? Why not? I think it's Saya Kamitani's time. So I am picking her to dethrone Tam Nakano. and win her first Wonder of Stardom championship. And then we have the main event of Stardom Dream Queendom. The winner takes all for not only the SWA World Championship, but also the World of Stardom Championship. Both titles are on the line. As the Wonder of Stardom champion, World of Stardom champion, Utami Hayashishita from Queen's Quest will take on the SWA World Champion, Donna Del Mondo's Shuri, who also won this year's 5-star Grand Prix. Now, I think it's clearly time for Shuri to win this match and become World of Stardom champion. This is her time. I believe it. Utami Hayashishita has held the belt for 404 days. And she's defended the title successfully 9 times. So this will be title defense number 10. Now, I know a lot of people would love to see her successfully defend the title a 10th time. I mean, the only other competitors that have defended the title 10 times or more are Eoshary, or actually, no, just Eoshary. In her 2 reigns, she's defended it 10 times and 14 times. So, yeah, Eoshary is the only one that has defended the title successfully 10 or more times. So, that's something that I know some fans want to see. I could also see the SWA and World of Stardom titles. I could see them get unified in this match, regardless of the outcome. I could see those titles get unified. But at the same time, if Utami wins and has both belts, it's going to make it really difficult for there to be competition for her to defend the SWA belt with. After all, there's not hardly any foreign wrestlers in Stardom to defend the title with. And, Utami, she's full Japanese. The only other foreigners or whatnot, I mean, you have Shuri. She's, half Japanese, half Filipina. And you have Julia, which I believe she's Japanese and Italian or something like that. She's a mix. So, I mean, other than that, there's not really any foreigners to defend the SWA title against if Utami wins. So that is why I feel like, regardless of who wins this match, I could see both titles, the World of Stardom Championship and the SWA World Championship, get unified. I could see them getting unified. This has been quite an epic rivalry between these two ladies, Utami Hayashishita and Shuri. I mean, it's really crazy the type of matches that they've had. And like I said, I really picked their match that they had at, I believe it was Yokohama Dream Cinderella, where they had the double time limit draw, double time limit draw. I still picked that as match of the year for this year. I mean, these two ladies tore each other up. Not only that, they have one more chance to do it again on the 29th and try to top that. I don't think it will top that, but you never know. But I'm picking Shuri to dethrone Utami Hayashishita and finally become the World of Stardom champion. I believe this is Shuri's time. She won the 5-star Grand Prix. She's come so close to beating Utami, but hasn't gotten the job done. And like I said, their rivalry has been epic. this year. So I believe Shuri finally does it. She's really established herself well in Stardom. She has one of the best win percentages in Stardom currently. And, she's very strong, excellent wrestler. And I really feel like the time has come for her to have a superior, legit singles title run. Not saying that she hasn't had with the SWA title, but it doesn't compare to the World of Stardom Championship. It just doesn't compare. So I think the time has come for Shuri to finally have a red belt run. It's time. Utami Hayashishita, you've had an excellent title run with the red belt, and you've pretty much established yourself as the ace of Stardom. At such a young age, not only 3 or 4 years of wrestling experience, and Utami has established herself as the ace of Stardom. No doubt about that. No doubt. And I think she'll continue to grow. Her stock has gone way up, even ever since winning last year's 5-star Grand Prix and winning the red belt. So I have no doubt that Utami Hayashishita is definitely the ace of Stardom. But Shuri has been on the rise, and she has shown that she can be a world champion. And I think the time has come for them to pull that trigger and put the red belt on Shuri. I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view. I'm looking so forward to this. This is going to be a big, big pay-per-view for Stardom to finish off the year 2021. But the only title changes I could see happening are both Wonder and World of Stardom championships. So the white belt and the red belt. I could see both of those changing hands. Saya Kamitani winning the Wonder of Stardom championship, Shuri winning the World of Stardom championship. I could see those two as the two titles changing hands. Also, I still wonder, even with Julia coming back, I still believe they need to vacate the Goddess of Stardom tag titles because they haven't been getting defended. I think they need to be vacated. Either they do that, or if they want, now that Julia's back, just have them defend her and Shuri defend those titles against Koguma and Hazuki. And I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped those tag titles to them. I mean, they won the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So I could see that happening if they don't vacate them. But somehow I could see Koguma and Hazuki becoming tag champs. But we'll see what happens. But that is your card for Stardom Dream Queendom. Like I said, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see it. Should be great. So looking forward to that. Okay. So want to talk a little bit about AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. Yes, this show took place in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Greensboro Coliseum this past Wednesday. Myself and a couple of friends ended up going to this. Shout out to that demo guy. Shout out to the Rob Potsy Potchak and Tino Gray of the Potsy and Tino show. But yeah, had a blast. And this is one of 3 AEW shows that they're doing in North Carolina. So this was in Greensboro. The next 2, we got Battle of the Belts. That'll be in Charlotte. And then they have AEW making their debut in Raleigh, North Carolina in January. So both Battle of the Belts and the AEW show in Raleigh will both be in January. January 8th and January 12th. So I'll be going to both of those shows. So looking forward to that. But Greensboro, AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash, and it was a great show. It was a really, really great show. I will tell you this right now. They filmed Dark Elevation first, then Dynamite, and then they filmed and recorded AEW Rampage Holiday Bash. So I'm not going to spoil that for you. But I did see Rampage live, so I know what happens. But I'm not going to spoil anything because that episode will play tomorrow. That's the Christmas special that'll play tomorrow. So I'm not going to spoil that. But anyway, Dynamite Holiday Bash kicked off in such a great fashion, starting with a singles match. Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. Now, I tell you, this match was excellent. What a way to kick off this show. And this match was pretty long, too. This was a very long-winded match. And I tell you, it was back and forth. It was action-packed. I really love what they did here. I mean, it was great. It was really, really great. I had a great view from my seat of everything that went on. I was on the hard camera side, so could see everything great. So this match was just intense, just back and forth. We even saw the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler try to come down and interfere, but then they were cut off by best friends, Chucky T, Wheeler Yuta, Trent came down to even the odds. And so that was very action-packed going on the outside. And then, just when it looked like Orange Cassidy was going to take advantage and pick up the win, out comes Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish comes out, distracts the ref, and then out of nowhere, on the side where I was sitting, on the floor area, running through the crowd, hops into the ring, and just takes out Orange Cassidy. Who was it? It was the now all elite Kyle O'Reilly. That's right. Reunited with Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, they laid waste to Orange Cassidy. Red Dragon is back, or, if you want to get technical, Undisputed Era is now on AEW. And there you have all three. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, also debuting his new t-shirt, in the ring. And of course, Adam Cole was able to take advantage of the attack and distraction, was able to hit the last shot and cover Orange Cassidy for the victory. Now, we also had a segment at the end of the match where the Young Bucks came down, got into the ring with these three, and they were kind of confused. Like, hey, wait a minute, I thought, Adam Cole and us, we're the Super Clique. I thought we were a team. What is this? So this is definitely planting a seed, and it's going to have us wondering, who's Adam Cole going to side with? Is he going to side with the Young Bucks, or is he going to side with his Undisputed Era team of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon? I'm very curious to see where this story goes, like how this develops. But it's official. Kyle O'Reilly is all elite. And we got to remember, I think a lot of us had a feeling that he was going to show up. Sooner or later, he was going to show up. Because you have to remember, he didn't get released by WWE. He didn't re-sign a new contract. His contract ended. He didn't renew it. So became a free agent pretty much immediately. Therefore, he could sign anywhere else immediately. And sure enough, here he is in AEW, reunited with his Red Dragon tag team partner, Bobby Fish. One of my favorite tag teams. I'm so pumped to see the two-man smash machine compete together in AEW as a tag team. I look forward to it. And you best believe I'm looking forward to them becoming AEW World Tag Team Champions. Red Dragon, looking so forward to it. But I definitely am very curious to see how this story goes with Adam Cole and where he will put his allegiance at. You know what I mean? So it was kind of interesting. You know, Adam Cole walked out with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, you know, leaving the Young Bucks kind of trailing behind. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But big surprise of the night, Kyle O'Reilly makes his AEW debut, and he is all elite. He is signed. Cheers to the violent artist, Kyle O'Reilly. Now, of course, we had an interview in the ring, Tony Schiavone with Hangman Adam Page. And, of course, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, came down the rampway. They had a segment where they were kind of going back and forth, you know, talking about the draw that took place when they competed against each other for the AEW World Championship, which we now know there will be a rematch. There will be a rematch. Hangman Adam Page versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson 2. It will happen, and word is that there will be no time limit. No time limit. So I think, or actually no, correction. Bryan Danielson requested there be judges. But if you ask me, just make it no time limit. That's the easiest thing to do. Just make it no time limit. There has to be a winner. There has to be a clear winner. So we'll see what happens, but Hangman believes he can beat Bryan Danielson in under an hour. There's going to be judges. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens, but I'm looking forward to the rematch. Should be good. I mean, they had a great match the first time. I think this will definitely upstage it, hopefully. And hopefully we'll get a clear-cut winner. But they will have this rematch on the January 5th episode of AEW Dynamite, which will be moved to TBS. It won't be on TNT. Dynamite will be on TBS. But I believe they're still going to keep Rampage on TNT. So something to keep in mind going into the new year. And then we had Wardlow versus the Captain Shawn Dean, which didn't really last. Got powerbombed like 4 times. I give him credit. He took those power bombs like a champ because, man, they were pretty sick. But yeah, Shawn Dean ate 4 power bombs from Wardlow. Wardlow got the pin, and then Shawn Spears just had to add insult to injury and come in and take a chair and whack Shawn Dean a couple of times, which was kind of ridiculous. It's like, dang, what's up with the overkill? Why you got to do the overkill on a brother like that? Shoot, that's messed up. So messed up. And then, of course, we had a rant and rave and promo with Dan Lambert and the Men of the Year up in the rafters, up in the, I guess not in the rafters, but up in the suite in the Greensboro Coliseum. And I mean, that was okay, I guess. I mean, if anything, he just complained a bunch about how Still, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky aren't getting title matches and anything like that, and just stuff like that. But yeah, took some shots at Tony Khan and just Dan Lambert running off at the mouth as usual. Kind of annoying, but hey, he's a heel, so I get it. They had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, have a little Christmas party with Tony Schiavone and Jamie Hayter and Rebel. And she was pretty much just talking smack to Riho. You know, despite Tony Schiavone reminded her once again, Britt Baker has never beaten Riho. To this day, she has not been able to defeat Riho. And like I said, Riho will get her title shot at Battle of the Belts in Charlotte, North Carolina. And like I said, I will be on the floor level right next to the ramp for that match, rocking my Riho gear and hopefully a Riho sign as well. So definitely looking forward to that match. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then you had a special, they did play a special video package in tribute to Owen Hart as they advertised more about the Owen Hart Cup for both the men and the women. So the details of the Owen Hart Cup tournaments. So these tournaments will take place throughout the month of May. So my birthday month. So they will start right at the beginning of May. They will run these two tournaments, and then the finals for both the men's and the women's tournaments will take place at the AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view, usually at the end of the month of May. So I know I was talking with some friends, and they were kind of wondering, dang, why have these tournaments so far out in the middle of almost about the middle of the year next year? Which, I mean, I think it gives them plenty of time, and us plenty of time to kind of speculate, you know, what they might do as far as competitors. Because, I mean, who knows? Maybe leading up to the month of May, maybe they do qualifiers for each of the wrestlers to have a chance to, you know, qualify for the tournament. They could do that. You know, they could do that. Or who knows? They may base it off certain stats or record, you know, and they may do like a seeding style sort of layout by the time the month of May comes, and they could, you know, organize the brackets based off rankings into seedings. You know, there's a reason why they're having the tournaments in May, you know, which is, you know, a number of months from now. But if anything, what I could see happening, I could see them either run some qualifiers leading up to May so that folks that qualify secure their spot to compete in the tournament. I could really see that happening. Or like I said, they may just, by the time that gets to April or, you know, the end of April, they'll have an idea of maybe based off stats or whatnot. But something tells me we probably won't know all the competitors until maybe April. And it could be that they might reveal them one by one, sparingly, which I'd be cool with. I would be cool with. But I am totally fine with these two tournaments being in May. The Owen Hart Cup tournaments. They're doing one for the men and one for the women, which I think is excellent. So we got something to look forward to next year in the month of May. I think it's going to be awesome. And they got a lot of time. They got plenty of time. So hopefully they don't waste it putting together these two tournaments. Okay. We had the TBS. We had one of the TBS Women's Championship semifinals as Nyla Rose took on Ruby Soho. And I have to say, this was actually a pretty dang on good match. It was definitely back and forth, and it seemed like there was a time where Nyla Rose had most of the momentum, and I just thought it was a pretty big moment. Ruby Soho pretty much kicking out of Beast Bomb, which I figured with that happening, I felt like that kind of sealed the deal that Ruby Soho was going to win. And sure enough, I do have to say this. I got to give kudos to Vicky Guerrero because she took a kick dead from Ruby Soho to the face. She took that spot and that bump like a champ. So kudos to Vicky Guerrero because I was right there when I saw it, and she literally just whacked Vicky Guerrero in the face, kick to the face. I was like, dang. Like, Vicky Guerrero, that woman can take a hit. That woman can take a hit. She sold it well, too. She sold it well. I gotta give Vicky credit. Gotta give Vicky credit. So shout out and kudos to Vicky Guerrero. But Ruby Soho was able to hit the no future finisher while from the turnbuckle, from the top turnbuckle. While Nyla Rose was sitting on the top turnbuckle, she was able to hit the no future on her and pin Nyla Rose for the 1-2-3. And there is your first finalist for the TBS Women's Championship Tournament, Ruby Soho. That's right. And sure enough, I believe if I remember correctly, they're going to have the finals of this tournament at the January 5th episode of Dynamite, which will be on TBS. So we got that. Ruby Soho advances to the finals. So the only semifinal match we have left is Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa. Now, there was an unfortunate moment that happened as this match was going, or actually right before it started. So some idiot in the front row for the Nyla Rose Ruby Soho match just happened to make a sign and held up a sign, a transphobic sign, as an insult to Nyla Rose, which I give Nyla Rose credit. She handled it well. And security guy came down to that person, and from what I saw, it looked like he gave the guy a warning. It was like, look, you got to take that sign down. Like, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Take that sign down. Don't put it back up again. You can stay and watch the rest of the event. He gave him a warning. But sure enough, apparently, supposedly before the end of the show or whatnot, or I guess before the end of Dynamite, he ended up getting escorted out. And not only that, I think there was another sign that was put up that was a nasty insult to Ruby Soho, but got kicked out of the arena. And it's just like, fans sometimes, I don't get fans. Like, always gotta ruin it. Doing stupid stuff. It's like, come on, there's a code of conduct for a reason. I mean, it's all cool to make signs and everything, but come on now. Come on. That sign, that dude that was totally out of line. That was out of line. Like, come on. I know this is supposed to be entertainment. I know fans are there to cheer and boo for the wrestlers they love, the wrestlers they hate. cheer for them or boo them, make signs and whatnot, but have some common sense. Have some common sense. Like, come on now. That sign was against the conduct code. Come on now. Like, it was just very bad. And honestly, the dude should be banned. The dude should be banned from all future AEW events, if you ask me. I mean, he had the chance to take it down and leave it down, but nah. Just kept messing around, and then he got removed. And it's just, you hate to see that happen, but at the same time, it's a very simple concept. There are rules to follow. You break the rules, you suffer the consequences. It's really that simple. It's that simple. So it's unfortunate that happened, but kudos to Nyla Rose on how she handled that. Because I can imagine that's pretty insulting. Pretty insulting. Anyway, moving forward, we had Griff Garrison going up against Malachi Black. And you know what? I gotta give him credit. Griff Garrison hung in there. Another North Carolina native. But he hung in there. But sure enough, just was not able to defeat Malachi Black and was able to make him tap out. He put on a really, really deep single leg crab on Griff Garrison, made him tap out. And then Brian Pillman Jr. tried to come in and console and help his partner out. And he ate a nasty black mass from Malachi Black. And I got to give Brian Pillman Jr. credit. He sold the mess out of that black mass. I mean, he sold it perfectly. Just bam, he sold it perfectly. So kudos to Brian Pillman Jr. on selling the impact of that black mass from Malachi Black. But man, and they still haven't given a name in AEW for that move. So I'm still wondering when they're going to finally name that finisher. I mean, black mass is fine to me, but I mean, Brian Pillman Jr., he sold the mess out of that black mass. But Malachi Black still reigns supreme. Like I said, he only has one loss so far, one singles loss so far, but still going strong. Also, on a side note, it has been said that Brody King has signed with AEW, and I believe they're tag team partners and also tag team champions. I want to say, is it GCW? PWG, I think. I think they're PWG tag champs, I think. They're tag champions somewhere. But I would love to see Brody King make his debut in AEW as the first member of the House of Black. I think that's pretty evident that we're gonna see. But yeah, Brody King, another wrestler that I like. Big dude, full of strength and full of agility. You'll be surprised. He actually has some agility. But I'm looking forward to seeing, Brody King, first member of the House of Black, alongside Malachi Black. I think it's perfect. And then the main event, and it was a great one. Oh man, it was a great main event. We had 6-man tag action where we had CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting going up against FTR and MJF. Got to give shout out to CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin, who are rocking different face paint to represent each of them. Like Sting had the CM Punk arms on his face paint. CM Punk excuse me, Sting had the CM Punk arms as his face paint. CM Punk had the Sting, the classic Sting face paint. And then Darby Allin had half of his face as in pretty much NWO or black and white Crow Sting. So I thought that was really neat how the three of them represented each other in this match. And of course, most of the match you had MJF staying as far away from CM Punk as possible. But this was just a very action-packed match, just all around. And it was just really great. Sting had a good amount of offense and time in the ring in this match. We even got to see Sting get up on the top turnbuckle and do a crossbody on the opposing team. Like, I did not expect to see that happen. And yeah, Sting can still fly. Gotta give him kudos. We got to see quite a lot of Sting in this match. So I think they did very well with the pacing and just the back and forth. And it was just overall a great match. And of course, Darby Allin, CM Punk, and Sting got the victory. And it was just good seeing them stand tall. And like I said, it's even more build up for single showdown between MJF and CM Punk. It's coming. It's definitely coming. But I was really happy with the pacing of this match, and just everybody got to really showcase in this 6-man tag match. So I was very pleased. And that is AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. Like I said, I had a blast, had good seats. And like I said, I marked out like crazy on the debut of Kyle O'Reilly. Like I said, Red Dragon's back, or Undisputed Era, whichever you want to say. They're back. And I've been looking forward to that. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil Rampage because that's tomorrow. But I did see Rampage, and wow, Rampage was good and interesting. It was good and interesting. That's all I'll say. It was good and interesting. But I definitely recommend that you check out Rampage tomorrow. Just a preview of the matches. They had Hook versus Bear Bronson. They had Jungle Boy versus Isaiah Cassidy. They had Legit Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. And as advertised, they had the TNT Championship on the line as Sammy Guevara defended against Cody Rhodes. So those are the matches you can expect on Rampage. So definitely check that out. Okay. Now, WWE. I mean, honestly, Raw was full of rematches. But if anything, I think the main thing that stuck out the most is Omos and AJ Styles are no longer a tag team. They have split. Omos pretty much destroyed AJ. And all I got to say is it's about time. It's about time. So now AJ Styles can focus on being a singles competitor and really getting back to top tier where he belongs. Also, you had Dolph Ziggler get a victory over Damian Priest. So now Dolph Ziggler has the opportunity for a future United States championship. There's also a really, really crazy stat that I wanted to mention about Dolph Ziggler. Shout outs to BC Amplified, because that's where I heard about the stat. And it's a crazy stat. So before this victory, which was a count-out victory Dolph Ziggler over Damian Priest. Guess the last time that Dolph Ziggler had a singles victory. It was May of this year. May 7th of this year. And it was against Dominic Mysterio. That's literally the last singles victory Dolph Ziggler had. And apparently, his overall record between that time and now, if you include the tag matches, is, I was told, 3-40. So out of 43 matches, he's been on the winning end 3 times since May. That's sad. That is sad. Sad and crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's really the only things that stuck out to me the most on Raw. I mean, the split of Omos and AJ Styles, and Dolph Ziggler has a United States Championship title shot owed to him, but that's pretty much it. On NXT 2.0, so we know that Braun Breaker is going to get another shot at the NXT Championship against Tommaso Ciampa at New Year's Evil. So we got that to look forward to. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai had a street fight. They had a street fight. And, this is supposedly the match to, I guess, put an end to their rivalry. And Raquel Gonzalez ended up winning. Hit Dakota Kai with a Chikunga bomb onto a trash can. But, or actually, no. It was, hit her with the Chikunga bomb on the trash can. But before that, she hit Dakota Kai with a sick power bomb onto the steel steps. Like, it was crazy. Like, gotta give Dakota Kai her props for taking those bumps, but jeez. But, and of course, afterwards, she had a moment in the ring, got on the mic. She wants her rematch with Mandy Rose. Of course, Cora Jade comes out, interferes, and Mandy Rose agrees to defend the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Evil in a triple threat match. So she's going to defend the title against both Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade. So at least we know we have that to look forward to. AJ Styles made an appearance on NXT 2.0, had a segment with Grayson Waller in the ring. Apparently, they have been going back and forth on Twitter. And pretty much, AJ Styles came to fight, and it looked like it was going to happen, but Grayson Waller backed down. So, AJ Styles is on NXT 2.0. And it really makes me wonder, what's this going to turn into? Is he going to feud with Grayson Waller? Is he going to be back and forth between the main roster and NXT 2.0? I'm very curious to see what they do with AJ Styles on NXT 2.0. But hopefully, whatever it turns into, I hope it's big. I hope it's big for him. I hope it's really big for him. So we'll see what happens. But this is intriguing. This is definitely intriguing. And then had a first ever showdown, Eoshary versus Elektra Lopez, which was good, which was pretty good. Zion Quinn interfered, which pretty much went in Eoshary's favor as she was able to pick up the victory over Elektra Lopez, which I believe this was Elektra Lopez's first loss in NXT 2.0. So it's kind of a big deal. But at the same time, which, Zoe's still rehabbing her knee injury and Io still kind of has her back, even though she doesn't like her. But honestly, there's really nothing else left for Eoshary to do. So I'm thinking between now and maybe the end of Royal Rumble, they might call up Eoshary to the main roster, to be honest with y'all. Because there's really nothing else left for her to do in NXT. There isn't. So, they might as well call her up, eventually. And then Pete Dunne beat Tony D'Angelo, which was good, which was really good match. That was the main event. I enjoyed it. But yeah, we got a couple of matches named for New Year's Evil. Women's title defended in a triple threat, NXT Championship, and of course, I believe next week, MSK is supposed to be returning to in-ring action, and they're going to have Matt Riddle at their side. So that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting to see how that works. But that's what we have to look forward to. And then, honestly, SmackDown was eh. If anything, they had the segment where Paul Heyman now has no idea what he's going to do as far as his career. His career might be over. And they did the video package on Paul Heyman. So, but I'm pretty sure, something's going to happen at day one that's going to involve Paul Heyman. But they also had a 12-man gauntlet, 12 Days of Christmas 12-man gauntlet to determine the newest number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship, which Sami Zayn was the last member of the gauntlet, and he ended up winning. So once again, Sami Zayn back in the Intercontinental title picture. But word is he's re-signed with the WWE. So who knows? They probably might have him dethrone Shinsuke Nakamura, which wouldn't surprise me because Shinsuke's title run hasn't really been that good. His IC title run really has been lackluster. They haven't really done anything with him. They haven't. I feel like he's been competing more in a tag team with Rick Boogs than defending the IC title. So, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Sami Zayn ended up dethroning Shinsuke Nakamura because they're not doing anything with him with that IC title. Toni Storm had a SmackDown Women's Championship match against Charlotte. It was okay. It was okay. I just didn't like the fact that Charlotte won with a small package. But I guess it kind of keeps Toni Storm strong when you think about it. Because, she didn't tap out to the figure eight or anything like that. So it does kind of keep Toni Storm strong. Sucks that it ended in a small package reversal. But it keeps Toni Storm strong because she didn't tap out to the figure eight. So, but I'm pretty sure it's not over between Toni Storm and Charlotte. Xia Li did a promo, and it looks like, I'm guessing it's safe to say, it looks like her and Natalya are going to be feuding for a bit. That's looking like that's going to be Xia Li's first feud, and it'll probably go from Natalya to Shayna Baszler as well, because Natalya and Shayna Baszler are a team now. I don't know why, because realistically Shayna needs to be a single star, but yeah. I feel like her being on SmackDown is not going to be that much different from how she was booked on Raw, to be honest with y'all. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, not really anything crazy or whatnot happened on SmackDown. You know, it was a holiday edition. Main event was was like a Christmas like holiday, I guess, street fight or whatnot. It was the New Day and Drew McIntyre going up against the Usos and Madcap Moss, which, I mean, we've seen the Usos and the New Day back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I really didn't care that much about this match. So, yeah. But anyway, I want to go ahead and do the preview for WWE Day 1. Because, yes, it will be taking place on New Year's Day, Saturday, January 1st. Not a lot of matches on this card. And who knows? I mean, they might add more. They might add the Intercontinental title match or the United States title match. I mean, we know that Sami Zayn's number one contender for the IC title. Dolph Ziggler pretty much became number one contender to the US title. So they might throw one or both of those matches on there. I doubt it, but we'll see. We have Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Drew McIntyre. And don't be well, no. I was going to say, could it be a pre-show match? No. Drew McIntyre in the pre-show, I don't think they would do that to him. I don't think they would do that to him. If they did, that'd be pretty messed up. I don't think they do that to him. At least I don't think. I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, Drew McIntyre for the win. We have Edge versus The Miz. You know, this could go either way. I could see Maurice interfering. But I think Edge, well, when you think about it, Edge just returned, and in a way, The Miz just returned as well. I don't know now. I mean, I want to say Edge gets the victory, but I don't know. Because both of these guys are pretty much returning. So I might stay neutral. For this. I might actually stay neutral for this match because realistically, I could see anything happening. So I'll be rooting for Edge, but it wouldn't surprise me if The Miz won. But I do think, regardless, Maurice is most likely going to try to interfere. I think she's going to try to interfere. The SmackDown tag titles will be on the line as the Usos defend against the New Day. Honestly, I don't care. I really don't care about this match at all. I don't care about this match. In all honesty, I'm just going to say the Usos retain, but honestly, I could care less about this match. I mean, we've seen the Usos versus the New Day tons and tons and tons and tons of times, so not a match I really care for. The Raw Women's Championship will be on the line. This is pretty much the main match that I'm going to be focused on the most out of all of the matches on this card. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, the rematch. Liv Morgan gets another shot at Becky Lynch. And I honestly hope that Liv Morgan wins. I think this is a good time to pull the trigger kick off the new year, new champion. I think they got to pull the trigger on Liv Morgan. I think they got to pull that trigger. So I'm picking Liv Morgan to defeat Becky Lynch and become the new Raw Women's Champion. Because like I said, Becky Lynch, I mean, she hasn't had a clean victory since SummerSlam over Bianca Belair. You know, lately she's been getting victories with roll-ups, grabbing the ropes. I mean, she hasn't even gotten a victory since with her finisher or with her disarmer or anything like that. So, yeah, I think they should pull the trigger. Liv Morgan, Raw Women's Champion. Book it. We have the WWE Championship on the line in a fatal four-way as Big E defends against Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. I mean, honestly, it's intriguing. I can't really pick one. I mean, I would like to see Big E retain, but I mean, it's an intriguing matchup, this fatal four-way, but I don't know. I'm gonna stay neutral for this one, but it's an intriguing match. And then you have the Universal Championship on the line as Roman Reigns will defend against Brock Lesnar. Now, I think it's safe to say Paul Heyman will show up for this match. Do they pull the trigger and put the belt on Brock Lesnar? That is really the main question. Something tells me Paul Heyman or something's going to happen that some way, somehow keeps that title on Roman Reigns. And I say that because I really feel like Roman Reigns is probably destined to lose the title at WrestleMania. So, yeah. I'm going to say some way, somehow, Roman Reigns retains, but Paul Heyman's definitely gonna be a part of this in some way, shape, or form and interfere in some way, shape, or form. I see that happening. I definitely see that happening. But overall, I mean, not really a very strong card for day one. Not a strong card at all. And like I said, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan is really the main match that I care about the most. You know, the others, But yeah. But that's pretty much all that I have. Like I said, I'm really excited for Stardom Dream Queendom coming up. And then I also, next week, I will do, by the end of the week next week, I'll do a preview of the cards for all 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom and give my predictions on those. And yeah, should be exciting. Like I said, we got next week, we got Stardom Dream Queendom. We got WWE Day 1. And then the week after that, Wrestle Kingdom. So it's a lot of pro wrestling to look forward to. And, oh yeah, I also should probably do a preview of Battle of the Belts once they got the card ready for that. But, yeah, should be good. Should be really good. But that will conclude this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. Hope y'all enjoyed. And I hope everybody... Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can keep up with every video. And thank you so much for watching. And as a matter of fact, as of now, it is Christmas. So hope everybody has a blessed Merry Christmas and enjoy time spent with your families, friends. Most of all, remember the reason for the season. That is, Jesus is the reason for the season. Love y'all. God bless. I'm Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and I will see y'all very soon. Merry Christmas, everybody. Good night.